What's up guys, welcome to Games with Grant. I am Grant Burton. This is Disco Elysium, the final cut, yet again. Trying to remember whereabouts I am in this game now, because I've got so many objectives popping up here, there and everywhere. Murder, mystery, and maybe curses? Remains to be seen just what exactly is going on that way on, but maybe not. So let me just get things set up behind the scenes here. Bear with me just a second, and then we'll get straight into the game. Right, ready to rock and roll. No, not the button I want to press. Let's see my objectives, just as a reminder, because I've got a hell of a lot of stuff to do. Sing karaoke, so I need to find the tape in order to do that still. Inspect the body, I can't do that until I build up my endurance. Then I've got to speak to Kim about that. I've got to speak to Kim about that after 2200. Find out who made the call, so that's just something I'm doing in the background, I suppose. Pay for the damages, so I've got to earn some money for that. I don't know quite how much money though, that's an interesting point. Find out about the world and all that stuff. Go to the union box, apparently that's gonna fill up in the evening at some point. So I don't know the exact time off the top of my head. Find out who put the clothes in the trash. Find my badge and my gun. Look in the secret passages. And investigate doomed commercial area. Right, so let's continue where I left off, which was to investigate this doomed area. And I believe I found somewhere that opened a curtain upstairs. And I don't quite know how to get there. So I'm thinking maybe it's actually up these stairs. But I'll speak to her, see if there's anything new to say.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore. Honestly, a dump. Nothing to see there, just heaps of garbage. Someone should let the sunshine in. I am in no position to give out personal opinions. I'm gonna go with this one.
What else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of hers.
That's what I thought. Let's head upstairs now. So, right, so there's clearly nothing different here about anything, so let's go for another wander. So my belief is that there is an upstairs area somewhere. Perhaps because the chimney leads somewhere, so how do I get to the roof is essentially what I'm looking for. Now I need to equip my flashlight again. There we go. Alright, there's little I can interact with here that I haven't already done. Right, so this is where I left things off really. So there's the chimney, and I know I can hear voices coming from upstairs.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Those voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity. Pleasance said it lives in the chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Well, I kind of agree with him. Right. So how do I get up there? Right. Trying to... What? Come on. There's a gap in the wall here I'm trying to get through. But this guy keeps getting in my way. He's getting on my nerves. No, that's not happening.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Well, I don't know where this ice cream maker is.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black, it's not like it's the red one, because it's black, the color of immeasurable cosmos. I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason. It's kind of what I did. Raises his brows, doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing. Unplug the giant red cable, let's just see what happens.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Let's see. So, the red cable obviously goes to this, the ice cream maker. Does this impact anything?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid.
I have a pry bar in my
Ah, that's what I was supposed to get.
Both cables are unplugged from the break. Somewhere in the dark, somewhere a machine hums along.
Right, so I will get that and then we'll come back to that ice cream machine or whatever. But I still don't know how to get upstairs. Because I know this leads back onto the street. So we'll get that tool, see if it works.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out, a metallic drawer slides out. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters. The pull-out toolbox slides back into...
Just gonna take all the tools so that I don't have to keep coming backwards and forwards. Right. Back in we go, see if this pry bar does anything. I've got a feeling it's not going to. Or even if it does do something, I'm not going to have the stat to do it. But we'll see. Fingers crossed.
This orange machine is buzzing. You slip your fingers. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Oh, come on, really? You can't just automatically do it? Right.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
3%.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric. The ice squeaks beneath the pry
Worth a
bar.
try.
You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it. But this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced? Where do we get
I
one?
have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
If it's just ice cream, I feel like that's going to be disappointing. I'm going to take that away as well, because it looks like I'm done here. I don't really know what to do. So let's get moving and see if I can figure out something else. It's starting to get evening. So I think I had to speak to Kuno about something. I can't remember.
Fuck does Kuno care?
No. Kuno, I found your shack. Point to the shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? And then what? You fucking there? You fucking Kuno's kingdom.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno!
What was with the pig head? I found a plate covered with powder residue. Know anything about it? What's with the tube of magnesolum? Kuno, could I get into the harbour from the roof? I've heard enough of this. Well, he's probably not going to be very cooperative, but I'll give it a
Oh,
go.
that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, live, fucks their heads off. Kuno's a cop killer. That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in their pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
It's a vitamin pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a bottle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
I know all about magnesium. I rock it all the time. Come on, it's just magnesium. Don't mystify it.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Okay.
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig. Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait to see you get all scared and shit your pants.
Kuno can't wait to see you shit your fat pants!
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
And just a reminder, if you've missed any of my Disco Elysium playthroughs so far, the VODs are available on Twitch and on my YouTube channel, Games with Grant. So you can go back and watch them all from the beginning to get the full story if you've missed any of it. Right, my endurance is still 3%. Right. It's a problem considering I'm a detective who's got to investigate this body and figure out who murdered it, but I can't get close to the body. Right. Anyway, let's have a look around a bit more, because I've only actually explored this small area so far. My understanding is you can go through the entire city, essentially. To Roundabout North. To Capeside Apartments, Martinet Pier. The ad reads, broken window, Tibbs has windows. Better mouth your watch round me, you boy. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What
They
happened?
got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Can we do something about
We
it?
should have done something about the union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Well, I'm not going to pay money for that yet because I don't know what the point in it is yet. Assuming there is one. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Ah, is this something I can do, a staircase? This might be exactly what I'm after. I'm on the other side of the fence now. See if this changes the conversation.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now? I'm sorry for sneaking up on you.
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Right. Magnesium and money. Okie dokie. Oh, what's with that?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Well, that's nice to know. I feel like I could have got a bit more information from that. Right. Still can't find my way to the roof. Or to the upper floors of that. I feel like I'm missing something. A garden hose. This won't be for use until the snow melts. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Nosifed and orange bum hat. An orange bum hat. It makes one reaction speed feeling twitchy and one rhetoric bum brain. Looks like it might have been used as a mask during an armed robbery. I notice I can't actually get rid of items in my inventory, so they must just stay there forever. Anyway, I like the hat that I've got on right now. Let's see what's down here. No, I'm assuming that means I can't get down there. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. I'm gonna head back to the cafe in a bit. Just continue exploring a little. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Capeside Apartments. Rue de Saint-Gasson, roundabout north. Inside, the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Oh, that's what that is. What's down here? Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Gasson, 33A. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Oh, well, that's nice to know. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L., what does the L stand for?
Peyton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
I don't know why I asked that. Just thought, why not?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her
I'm glad
hand.
to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
It's good to know. No one else has been quite so helpful.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Lady 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Alright, no need for
I
the
really
sarcasm.
do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Not a lot of people on boats,
Of
are
course
there?
there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What do you mean?
We are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Caillou? I thought we were in Revachol. Still haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
Why am I even thinking about this? I have police work to do. It'll come off like I'm envious, and I'm not.
You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then, unburdened by envy.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles.
Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license, Sly Fox. You're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this. I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the Caesarian, himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain. Saint Baptiste, Loom, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
The money I owe is so much less than that.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Is it just me, or is my screen getting a lot darker? I don't know if that's coming up on stream or not, or if it's my TV, or I don't know.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavour indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system.
Oh, there we
Each
go, it's
terminal
brightened up.
must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Leave it
But
alone.
I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this, precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organisation now.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I like it, I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it, I want to ask something else about the strike.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Nope, that's weak. Not hard communist enough for me.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker, a member of the board.
What exactly do they mean by it though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings, the king is king. The king is dead, long live the workers.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
I'm just reading back on some of the stuff to make sure I've fully grasped it.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
For some reason my screen keeps dimming and I don't know why. I'm seeing if there's any setting that I can turn off, but no, it doesn't look like there is. Alright. Is he that bad? He can't be that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of the local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol, basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie. It happens. Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around Claire's. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching? Actually
Quite a
getting to
few
the point.
things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge was related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Yes. She doesn't need to know all the extraneous details, let's say.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Alright, so maybe she does. Right. I'm gonna go for the more humorous one.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Right. So if I do that and fail, I'm not going to be able to try again. So 42%, the chances aren't in my favour, so I'm going to avoid that for now. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain, just give me the lowdown. Actually, now is not a good time. Well, I'll do this one.
Yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are
We're
we?
in Martinez, baby.
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
Great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
I don't know any of this.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
You seem rich. Can I have some money? Right, okay. Could solve my money problems, who knows?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes.
A well-kempt yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style.
Positively statuesque.
While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from cold, her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities.
These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible. Within reason.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you. You misery-clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. Maybe you could ask her for some stock tips. That's a maybe. Or a job. But you're sure as hell too ashamed to ask for cash, buddy.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you, that's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Right, let's look at some of this stuff that's popped up during our conversation. Joyce's info on the lynching. There is something she wants to tell you, you just have to present her with your badge to hear it. Or perhaps if you did her a favour, she could waive off the formality. Whatever the case, you need to know what she knows. So another reason to find my badge, or to get her talking about wanting me to do something. Keep asking Joyce questions about reality, or return later. She'll be here whenever you need the info. Right. I'm gonna head back to the cafe now. Oh no, there's still got something else to do. Right, so what are these new things? Temporary research bonus, 3 hours 25. Rush all this. Right. Unlock a new slot to research the fort. So how do I unlock them? I could get rid of these ones, but you do not have enough skill points available. Right, so you gotta use skill points to forget them as well. Right, that's a bit annoying. So I can't actually do any of that. What's that? Looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. Right, it's starting to get late. I think the Union might be showing up at Gart's place, the cafe. So I'm gonna head back there. You know what, I'm gonna speak to this guy first. You hear the distant squall of seabirds. The things I've seen, hic, and said. No, can't speak to him. Plastic bag. So I can collect bottles now. Equip this to collect from the streets. So I can collect these bottles to make money. A splatter of bullet holes lines the wall. I'm not gonna speak to them guys. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. What's that? An ancient fountain. It doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Right. Don't want to venture too far down that way just yet. The world's starting to expand and it's starting to get a little overwhelming. Let's speak to her again.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Right, back in the cafe now. Because I can't remember the time in which the Union box opens. Oh, there's a bunch of people in here now, and there's lights on and everything.
Hello again, sweetie.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it?
How much do I owe you
A
again?
lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real. Yes. Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes.
Alright, so I can't speak to God. Let's see, who are all these other people? Can I even speak to some of them? No. Does this guy want to talk yet?
Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
I wonder if the pry bar can get that open. Probably not.
You see a heavy steel door. The door does not, but
Right. Get rid of the pry bar, that's useless. You can talk to this bald guy here. Oh, hold on.
that sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
Pretty long, it's drink o'clock.
Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there, not thinking about drinking all that time. It was like you weren't yourself.
I've been thinking about it all the time. Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me. Now that you mention it, I do need a rum and lemonade. I'd love for God to serve me up a beverage.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
Don't lick it, that's not good.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then.
Well, when you wake up with a hangover and you've got no memory of who you are or where you're from or anything like that, it's probably a good indication to stop drinking.
Get your drink on and your act together.
Right, what's that? Find booze and drink it. Really? That's an objective? The hangover feels really bad. You have to take the edge off. Find a bottle of alcohol, put it in your hand, equip it with in the held and alright. And the magic will happen by itself. It's all about money, you know. That's all he had to say. Right, well, clearly I shouldn't have came back here. I'll come back later on. Alright, let's just look through my inventory again.
The note is written with a blue pencil on. Someone has scribbled S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still. You'll find the filament memory with.
A sewer grate, a gateway to the river of filth.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go over and ask him if you can do that.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Save the economy? What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
This doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving?
Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children?
You're right, we've got to save the mother economy. But I don't have children, I think. It's just nature. Powerful economies expand, weak economies go extinct. This economy is really just a distraction from cultural issues, you know? Immigrants and... Look man, I just want to buy some clothes. But I don't have children,
Too bad, officer. Kids make it all worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? Don't let me stop you. Open the box and browse a little.
Browse through the box.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Find something worth salvaging from that pile of rags.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
I'll leave it for now, considering I've only got 1088. 450 would be quite on the expensive side for me.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra series.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Inspect
a
the
pair
sneakers.
of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. Found Ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable Found Ultras atop them.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
But I already looked at the sneakers. What about the speakers though? Doesn't anyone want those speakers?
These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
Can't I buy the sad conquered Samaran speakers?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
But I need some speakers. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. You're right, I don't have time for junk. I need a luxury life.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer, you're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions?
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom.
Where'd you get those comfy pants?
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board.
Do you have a permit to sell all that?
Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
Kim, is it true he doesn't need a permit to sell?
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
Wait, but what are we doing here if there are no permits?
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the gossamer state.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
A gossamer state. You're right, this is cool. I'm part of a hip, thin, almost non-existent state apparatus. So, cool guys protect businessmen while everyone else lives in the ruins. I can think of cooler things.
Yeah, cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house, live in a crater, or in a tree. Where can you do that? Only here.
You're pretty sure you can live in a tree elsewhere too, but he wouldn't believe it anyway.
Is there a discount for cool officers like me?
No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
Are those things really on sale, or did you just jack up the price first?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up?
That's all, then let me ask you something else.
Anything for you.
Where are you from, Sileng?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
You're from the Apricot Suzerainty, right?
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say you're from... Pronounce it very painstakingly. Seaguy.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism. But the Apricot Suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left.
Right, but isn't that just because of Revachol? You're welcome. I do try to be supportive of other peoples and cultures.
That's so cool, officer. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur by buying some pens and glasses?
Persuade him to give you some money. 42% chance. Probably not gonna work. I'll not bother.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents.
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
You're right, I'm too sensible for those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! And all for a mere 6 real.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hot air rises up from the sewer, sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Fingerless gloves. Right, what do they do? Cigarette-stained fingertips. Gasoline-stained fingerless gloves in navy blue. They've been worn threadbare, but being made of wool still provides some warmth and comfort. Why not? Water. Lockout of order until Wednesday 7:15 AM. Butter sign down. This is outrageous. Barry, can you hear me, buddy?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
First things first, what are you doing here, man, on the waterlock? Do you know what caused this wreckage? Point at the smashed billboard in the canal.
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershall.
The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything round here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
What's with the lever that does nothing? Oh, it's starting to rain.
It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage.
Why is it disabled?
Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the waterlock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honours when the time comes?
Do I ever? We'll see. I'm not all that into manual labour.
Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the waterlock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7:15.
Do you know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Can I have some of that salami?
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Right, bye. Alright, that was a nice chat. Roy's Pawn Shop. Fast cash for faster times. I'm assuming this is where I can sell the bottles and so on and so forth. Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. Mostly military wear, with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Right, okay. Do I even have a living room?
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
How much for the streetlight? 700 real, a bargain I dare say. Are you out of your mind? There's one just like this at every corner. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining a light, that seems a bit steep. 700 real sounds about right. I imagine it wasn't easy sawing off that street lamp. The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
The light has been removed and rewired. That's 2 transformations. But what about the third?
The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Okay, that checks out.
How much for the streetlight? Right, well, obviously I can't buy that. In the dark, a film projector is whirling away. A bust of a woman. The plaque simply says DEI.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back. Yes, buy something nice. A figurine.
Inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Point at the knights on horseback. Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Which ones? The man peers from his glass box. Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like bright colours indiscriminately. Inspect the figurines and rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? The man behind the glass answers, yes. They are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty is being exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say Fallon.
What is this? Oh, that's the Headless Fallon Rider. The Headless Fallon Rider, it's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a Fallon tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
50 cents? Sure. Why not? Not sure if I need it, not sure if I even want it, but I'm getting it.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange, a sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep this Stereo 8 approved machine here is the Harman Wowski W02, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. Could this device come in handy with my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure, you could use it for that, or any other time you need to play a tape. Are you sure this is all in working order? Absolutely. I tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found some sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music. Well, that's all for now. Let's talk to him
It's
now.
not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed. Typical vacuous consumerist objects. Honestly, I think some of your selections are more tasteful than others. The business plan is all over the place. You really should specialize. Zoom in, right.
It keeps me entertained.
There's something I'd like to sell. I'd like to sell my clothes. I'll check my pockets. Access your pawn menu. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. That was not what I wanted to do. Well, what's the point in that? If I... Right. Never mind. So I can do the pen, but the pen could be useful. That could be useful. I need that. That's... I don't know. I've just bought that. Right, I'm not selling any of that stuff. I'd like to sell my clothes. I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. You might be able to aid our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you may have. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Actually, that's
The
all I've got.
pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colours.
Do you have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple of days back. Oh.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun? Was the buyer a policeman too? At least now I know I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions, the unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story.
I feel
It
like
seems
there's
he's trying to
something you're
spare
not
you.
telling me. He looks away. You weren't quite yourself, officer. What was I like? You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight, and you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
Wait, how much did I sell the gun for? Happens to the best of us, I guess. I really should have killed myself. Maybe I still will one of these days. I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further. 15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there, too, in case you didn't notice.
No apologies necessary. Was the buyer a policewoman? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabbit fans. Maybe she's a vigilante, wants to prove she can do our jobs better than we can. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now.
At
You
least
just have to
now-
hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. I wanted to ask about my missing gun again. No, I don't. Right. Water on Wednesday. Tracked down my gun. I've got an update on that. And let's get out of here. And with that, I am going to end today's stream. If you've missed any of my playthrough of Disco Elysium, remember you can go to Games with Grant on YouTube to catch my full playthrough as Twitch VODs. You can also go and watch some of my reviews of Cyberpunk 2077 and Hitman 3 on that channel too. But not interested in video games? Well, I don't know why you're watching this anyway, so you could go to Grant Burton on YouTube. That's my film and TV central YouTube channel, Grant Burton. This week's new content coming up just actually launched today, Saturday as of recording, is a ranking of the best film cameos. If that piques your interest, go check it out on Grant Burton YouTube. And why not follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well at @the_Grant Burton. Until next time though, this has been Disco Elysium. I will be back tomorrow, a little earlier in the afternoon because I am not at work tomorrow. So, thanks for watching and goodbye.